I was sort of thinking, if I could offer one course on the environment or one course on sustainability to MBA students, what would I cover? So the course is called Natural Capital, Managing Risks and Opportunities in Global Resource Systems. We want to make the students who are taking it aware of businesses' dependence upon these natural resource systems, and we want them to see them as business opportunities, not just as annoyances to be ignored.
A lot of people think that you have to use technology to go massive in education, right? What we're doing here at Technology is not to go massive, but to connect sort of small pockets of top talent around the world called the Global Network for Advanced Management, so they can explore topics that are best looked at from a global perspective by working directly with their peers in other parts of the world.
We have about 60 students signed up for the course. They're at 12 different business schools, 15 different time zones. We also have another 10 to 20 people who are from businesses.
It's an incredibly exciting time to be an MBA student. We need a lot of new leaders who will have the courage to come out and say, okay, we're going to try this business model. And somehow, somewhere in these MBA programs, we need to try to get courage to be a characteristic that we build into our students and leaders of the future.
Our students come in and say, I'm going to spend the money and the time to get this degree because it'll enable me to go out and manage some resource system, some part of the environment I care about better. But you can't manage a resource system from just one disciplinary perspective. You know, you think about a regular class, I get up and lecture. I can only lecture about stuff I know about. I know about a fair amount of stuff, but I couldn't do this class by myself. So now the networks and the platforms allow me to reach out to the companies that are working on these issues and say, you know, what kinds of questions are you facing? And then we can convert those business dilemmas into materials for the course. So we start with a case on metals, and we start with Alcoa and its efforts to sell more aluminum into the automotive sector, through which you can say, okay, what does it take to make metal for an automobile? What do you need to talk about mining, about processing, about distribution and fabrication and reuse and whatnot? And then you can talk about what are the risks and opportunities at each of those stages. They then evaluate what they see as Alcoa's dilemma and what they see as possible responses to that dilemma, and then present their responses to Alcoa. And we repeat that pattern of introduction and case across each of the 6 resource systems.
Instead of the faculty member in this case saying, this is how we're going to do it, it was really a group effort, students from management and from forestry and environmental studies working together, thinking this through, arguing it through, making sure that all views are properly represented. And I think the product is just spectacular. My role was basically the case author, bringing together a lot of different experts to weigh in and film videos and provide background that would, flow into the case. And then, because I'm also a TA, I'm actually seeing the students work on the assignments, grading them, and working on how the case actually gets taught. I enjoyed seeing how students from different backgrounds, different countries responded to the cases, especially within the groups, because they're very diverse and you see a lot of different perspectives that you wouldn't get just at one school.
It is the experience of exchanging your views with other people around the world and knowing how they approach problems, how they think, and of course how important these problems are to them in their reality, in their geography.
So we're working with faculty in India, we're working with faculty in Europe to design courses that can be offered to students across the network. And so in that future, Yale students can take high-quality online courses offered by faculty in Asia or in Latin America, just as students there are taking courses that we're offering from here.
So we can start thinking not only about globally applicable approaches, but then dive down into, okay, how do the people at the local business school work with the local businesses to make change on the ground there? We can make a huge impact